Hey, Derek.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I know, lines change all the time and all that kind of stuff. Initially with Fogle and Cassian, how are you finding it?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think that there's a lot of chemistry there on that line, a lot of good elements. We have a little bit of everything. Had some chemistry early on in the first couple practices. Obviously, very early, like you said. We're just feeling things out, but I think that's a line that can be together for a while and work well with each other, spend a lot of time in the O zone. The time we do spend in the D zone, be quick and efficient, get out of there, and I think it's a good line.
Leon Draisaitl's been a pretty good face-off guy for the Oilers the last few years, but sometimes a lot of the load falls on him to take draws, especially in the defensive zone. With you as a right shot, are you thinking, okay, that's something I got to do, especially if the draw's on that side?
Well, I think that's definitely something that I've done throughout my whole NHL career is be solid and steady in the face-off circle. I think that a lot of NHL teams now are running at least one left-handed guy and one right-handed guy that they can rely on pretty steadily. And so if you're relying on just one guy, it makes it pretty hard. Like you said, the load gets heavy on that guy, and Leon's on the ice a lot anyway. So if you need him for a defensive zone face-off, that's just more burden on his back. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be put in that position or not, but that's definitely something I've been known for in my career and something I take pride in.
Well, and further to that, I mean, at this stage of your career and how things have played out for you, can you sort of speak to that importance of, knowing who you are? And maybe that's something younger players realize too, that there are certain roles on a hockey team that have to be embraced because maybe there are, some other guys that are getting all the points.
Yeah, I think that's huge for a lot of young hockey players. I've seen a lot of young, skilled hockey players come up and be close to make it in the NHL, and it's really hard. It's hard to be a top six guy in the NHL, but there's a lot of guys that have the skill to be there, but there's just only so many spots. So I feel like guys struggle to find a role in the bottom six, how they're going to be effective, why a team would want to keep them around. And I feel like I've done a good job of adapting my game coming from Europe where I was a top six guy, and now in the NHL where I'm a bottom six guy. I found a way to be effective in face-offs and defensive zone responsibility and chipping in offensively and just finding those little ways to have an impact on a game. It's hard to do, but it's a change of your mindset for sure.
Derek, how much history do you have with Fogle from your Carolina days?
Yeah, not much, only a couple games. I think we played 2 games together for the Hurricanes, and I think we scored both games, so it was a little bit of history there. But I know him from just being around the organization. He was in Charlotte a little bit and just kind of around me in training camp. I know the type of player he is from those times, and then also from just watching him from afar, paying attention to the Hurricanes. He's a great player. He works hard, and he's the kind of guy I like to play with because he's just efficient, gets in on the forecheck and gets pucks back, and that's where you want to play is in the O zone.
So what's the genesis of the nickname Doc?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wish I had a really cool answer for that, but I don't. It's just my initials are DR, which abbreviates doctor. I don't have a PhD or anything like that, so.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we missed the PH.
Sorry, it's anti-dramatic.
What could a guy like Cassian bring to the line?
I think he brings a lot to the team. In that line specifically, I think he brings a lot of energy, a lot of veteran leadership. He's talking a lot on the bench, talking through different situations, where we should be, what kind of plays we should be looking for. He's obviously a physical guy. He brings that physical element. I think Warren does the same thing. I don't know, Cass is pretty underrated in terms of his skill, too. He's a highly skilled player, and I feel like if I can get him the puck in certain areas, he's going to make plays and score goals, and he's a dynamic player. He's an all-around really good player. He brings a little bit of everything, and I think that's just a microcosm of that whole line.
So when you were in Calgary and Cassian was in Edmonton, Cassian was the villain and Kachuk was the villain in Calgary. So do you have a different look at Cassian now that you're on the same team as Cassian?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever looked at him as the villain. Maybe Chucky did. I don't know, but it's different now. You get to know a guy, and at the end of the day, we're all human beings off the ice. I know it's hard for the fans and everyone else from afar to look at us as hockey players only, but you know, you get to meet guys and get to know them, which I have over the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks with Cass and a lot of the other guys too, and you get to know who they are as people, and they're all just really good guys, and Cass is no different. He's an awesome guy. He cares about hockey, he cares about winning, and he cares about the people around him, and that's just all I've come to know over the past month or so.
One last question on Yamamoto. You know, you're from Spokane, and Dave said yesterday they've been really working on him to shoot the puck more. Have you noticed that? I mean, he said his dad put a shooting thing in the backyard for him to shoot. Is that a thing for young players? You almost have to force them to shoot the puck more because they defer to the older players?
I don't know if that's true for every player. I think certain players tend to do different things. I think Yamos maybe is looking to pass more than to shoot, which is, I think I'm the same, but certain players will look to shoot more. I think that, I know Yamo has been working on his shot. He told me he wanted to work on that early in the summer before I'd even signed with Edmonton, and he was working on that, the quick release and the accuracy, and I think that's been evident so far in training camp. He has a good shot, and it's a mindset for him to try to use it more, but it's also tough when you're playing with some of the best players in the world. You want to get them the puck too.